Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends on the 10-time summon this weekend. Should you summon? There's a lot of stuff going on right now. We have the fusion, so you're probably busy with that, but you might need to do some summons for the fusion to get something in there to get it complete. I understand that, but looking at the champions that they gave us, should you summon over something like a 2 times? Because I'm a big believer in the 2 times, 0.5% to a 1% for a legendary, and then what do we got? We got 8% for the epics, goes to a 16%. You see it rain epics like crazy. And then we've got the sacred shards as well. I like to wait to that time. I don't like to chase. I feel like this is for the mega whales who weren't lucky enough to get something like a Brachus, and they want to go specifically for a Brachus. Now, if it was a Draco morph, I would tell you to summon 100% if there was a 10 times on a Draco summon, especially over a Venus, because Draco is just insane, especially when it comes to clan boss damage. Everybody needs a Draco morph. If it was a Sifi or a Rhodos or something like that, I could even be compelled to say, okay, summon, because they're just more than overpowered, or a Hegemon or something of that nature. Then maybe, yes, you could go for it. You know, try your luck, see what you can do. But right now we have Brachus the Shifter, Molly Tankard, Netheril, which I have all 3 of those. Then we've got Gorgarab, Rockbreaker, Frostbringer, and Skullcrown, which I have those as well. Turvold is the only one that I do not have, and he's just a high single target damage dealer, kind of like Brachus is here, right? They don't bring a lot else to the party, just damage, and I feel like those champions are really for people who want to play around in-game and just try to get some really big numbers. But Brachus is actually really good in Arena. I feel like his spot is in the Arena. You can play him in Fire Knight, but there are epic champions that could do better for your team, right? So I'm just trying to, if you want to see full reviews on these champions, you can go watch guides that I have on them to see what they're capable of, and I'll do new ones hopefully this weekend. That way if you do pull these, you can see what they can do. I'm just trying to explain to you about summoning them. So if you already have them, I'm not trying to poop on your champion. I'm just trying to tell you what you should do if you try to go after these champions, to wait for 2 times, because Brachus, though he is tons of fun, and in Arena, he can do some serious damage. You know, 40% additional damage when he's under 40% HP, comes back to life. I really feel like on this champion, he should always come back to life 1 time, and then after that, if you get a block revive on him, he's done, right? But he should always come back once, because he's very strong. He needs a lot of books. A lot of books, guys. Look at all these books that he takes to get this. You want the skill cooldown. You want the skill cooldown. He can be fun in Fire Knight, but again, there's tons of other champions you can use there. In Arena, he can be a lot of fun depending on what you're going up against. So Brachus is not a bad champion at all, but I don't think you don't need to chase after him. You really don't. I've got him at low speed, but I've got him at high everything else. I don't even think I have critical damage. Nope, I just got whatever on him. I use him against Hegemon and Rhodos teams, and I use him against Blender teams. That is the only reason I ever break out my Brachus right now. But you know, your roster might be different. You might only have a Brachus and some other things. Don't worry, we'll get a proper guide on him. Let's go to Molly Tankard. Molly Tankard was a fusion. Brachus was a fusion as well. Molly Tankard is a very good champion to get you through waves in the game. She will provoke like none other on a 3-turn cooldown to get you to the boss. And then actually, when you're at the boss, she'll give you a turn meter increase, a big turn meter increase. So she does do some work. She can revive a person and put block damage on them. So to me, she is one of the best carries in the game to get you to the boss, right? And then anybody who gets you to the boss usually doesn't do damage on the boss, right? They don't have a lot of burns, poisons, or anything else to help you out, or massive damage based off of enemy max HP. But when she gets you to the boss, which she will super easy with this, believe me, you need somebody to heal her though. She's provoking nonstop, so you need like an apothecary in there to heal her when you're going through runs. And then she can revive anybody else who dies. But then when you're there, you get a turn meter increase. It's crazy. A big one, 25% when this champion is hit with a boss. Very great champion to have, and she is super good in Arena. Against Hegemon teams, you know, to use this here against Hegemon teams, great. Anything else, if she's fast, so you can have her pop off fast after you do Madame Cirrus and provoke everybody. She's a strong all-around champion. Do you need to run out and get her? I don't feel you do. I think there's, you know, Gnarlhorn or other people that do, there's a lot of champions in this game that do AoE provoke on a pretty short cooldown. So I don't think you need to run out and just try to go after her right now. I think there's other champions that you probably have right now that you'll be able to use. Or maybe like a Gorgarab. Gorgarab's in here as well. Gorgarab is one of my favorite champions to get you through content in the game. We'll talk about him in a minute. Let's go to Netheril next. So Netheril is here, and I haven't done a guide on Netheril, so I need to do that this weekend. A great champion. He used to be much stronger back in the day because we didn't have a lot of other options. And on the clan boss, this guy used to kill it. But since it changed the AI with auto on the clan boss, and since we got people like Frozen Banshee out there in the game, this guy isn't as sought after at all for the clan boss. But he is still a phenomenal champion for arena and for anything else you go through in the game. If your roster makes it to where you need to use this in Spider, you can definitely use him in Spider for the stuns, for the turn meter reduction. If you want to use him in Fire Knight, Ice Golem, Dragon, anything else, he is a very, very good champion. And then in Arena, as you know, he can do some work for you with turn meter reduction and poison. But do you need to chase after him right now? I don't think you do. I don't think you need to chase after him. There are other champions that can get you to, like I said, can get you through it, can get you there. Unless you are a Mega Whale, and this is the only champion you are missing. Let's go on to the next one. Turvold, I don't have Turvold. He's the only one I don't have. Again, another single target damage dealer, kind of like Brachus, that is more about getting those buffs up and getting those big hits. Very in-game, I feel like. I feel like he's a very in-game champion. Gorgarab is next on the list. So Gorgarab is always, look at my videos on him. I have used him at level 50, bringing my whole team back to life all the time. He's amazing. And then you can use him in Arena as well. A very, very good champion. So if you have a Gorgarab, or if you're lucky enough to pull one sometime, he can really help your account out. So do you need to chase after him right now? You can if you want to, but I don't feel like you need to. But he is a fantastic champion to get you through the game. Really, really good champion for progression. Rockbreaker, I don't have him built all the way up. I think I have him at 5-star, and I'm not even on him right now. Wherever my Rockbreaker Dwarf is, another one that does AoE Provoke, just like we talked about with Molly Tankard. Very good at it, so you definitely don't need to chase him. Frostbringer, actually, let's go look at these while I'm talking about them. Here is, if you don't know who he is, maybe you don't. Here's Rockbreaker, right? He's got the AoE Provoke. He does, right here, defense, and then he can mitigate some damage that he gets taken. A good champion, but definitely not something you need to chase after. And a lot of people don't even use him. You can use him. I've seen him used in Arena a lot as well. Again, a provoker that can mitigate damage. Nothing wrong with that in Arena. People used to play him a lot back in the day. Gorgarab, you just saw. Let's go over to Frostbringer. I want to show you Frostbringer, who's on the list. You definitely don't need to chase after Frostbringer. She is one of the cooler looking champs, especially for an older champion, but her kit is just really bad. They need to revise it. Too many conditions depending upon this. If this was a 3-turn cooldown, I think people could get behind it more often. It'd be more like a apothecary without the turn meter increase in it. It'd be fun actually if they changed her to have an apothecary move like the rest of them, or Golden Reaper, same kind of move like that, 3-turn cooldown where we get the speed buff and the turn meter increase along with whatever else she does. Maybe tweak that a little bit, but for a very cool looking champion, she has been never used for a very long time. So I hope they update her. So you definitely don't need to chase after her. And then Skullcrowns, I've got like 3 maxed out Skullcrowns, a couple other ones saved up. Great champion for Arena, for farming, for keeps, and for waves and something like Ice Golem if you wanted to. If your team can support it, because once you get to the boss, you could get hurt very easily. Those kind of champions like that do well in Arena. Really, right? Skullcrown is amazing in Arena. But as far as like getting up higher past Spider 13 or something like that, she's not going to do the damage needed to be able to wipe out all the Spiderlings, or maybe Spider 16, 15, depending on how strong she is. So those kind of champions, again, you don't need for progression in the game. And that's mainly what I'm talking about, is for progression in the game. A lot of these are for Arena, like Brachus, and you could use Gorgarab for Arena and for clearing. Netheril actually is for everything. Molly Tankard is for everything. So decent champions. I think these are decent champions. I really do. It's up to you. It's up to whether all these champions actually can help you out with progression. Molly Tankard especially, Gorgarab definitely, Netheril in some situations, Brachus not really with progression at all. Netheril can help you with progression. Turvold can't really help you with it, and then Rockbreaker can, and Skullcrown not really. So there are quite a few on this list that can help you out. There's no denying that. I don't know why. I'm just not a big fan of 10 times. I'm really, really not a big fan of 10 times. But if you do summon, good luck. I just wanted to go over all these champions with you, have a little bit of chat about them, and see what you thought. Skullcrown, where are my Skullcrowns at? Let's go by affinity. They might be in the bank. Okay, I got 2 here that are at 50 and coming up. Here are some of my other ones. So I used both of these against a blender comp. Very slow Skullcrowns with Frenzy set, and then I have, you've seen it before if you watch any of my videos. So I do use both of these. These are really good in a actual blender comp, not against them. They're good against them. They're good with them. So you could use a Skullcrown in many things in Arena. But I just wish you the best of luck out there with summons. I'm just not a fan of 10 times. Let me know how you feel about 10 times. Do you think 10 times summons are a great thing. And again, if we had something like those I think are the best ones out there. I think a Sifi for 10 times, a Draco for 10 times, a Rotos, a Hegemon, a Krisk for 10 times. I can't think of anything else. I know a lot of people get excited about a Venus, but I'm telling you right now, Venus is nowhere near a Draco. So get a Draco if you can. Of course, Venus can do work for you. She can do very well in anything in the game to put up a decreased defense, a weaken, burn, and poison. But she just cannot do anywhere close to the damage that Draco Morph does on the clan boss. So he's just like leagues above her. So let me know, what do you think about the 10 times event? Will you be summoning? I'll be live on Twitch to summon in about, probably by the time you see this video, I will be live on there when it goes live to see if anybody wants to do some summons, hang out, have a few drinks, and I hope to see you there. You guys have a great day. Good luck on all your summons. I will see you in a video soon.